Welcome back to our series on the Dance of the Dragons, the infamous Targaryen civil war as described in the books Fire and Blood and The World of Ice and Fire. In Part 5, we dive into the chaotic aftermath following the deaths of Prince Lucerys and Prince Jaehaerys. After the tragic deaths of the princes, both sides were driven by a thirst for vengeance. Lords called their banners and began marching their armies. At the start of this new phase of the war, Lord Grover Tully of the Trident was initially inclined to support King Aegon II and the Greens. However, his age and illness kept him bedridden. Instead, it was his grandson and heir, Sir Elmo Tully, who, preferring Rhaenyra Targaryen and the Blacks, kept the Tully banners at Riverrun. In the Riverlands, Lord Samwell Blackwood, who had declared for Rhaenyra, led an invasion into lands held by the Green-aligned Lord Humphrey Bracken. The Blackwoods burned villages, destroyed crops, and despoiled septs. In retaliation, Bracken forces under Sir Amos Bracken clashed with the Blackwoods. During the battle, Amos Bracken slew Lord Blackwood in single combat, but was himself struck down by an arrow. The Brackens were ultimately defeated at what would be called the Battle of the Burning Mill. The surviving Brackens retreated to Stone Hedge, only to find it had been seized by Prince Daemon and his rivermen. With their stronghold lost, the Brackens yielded, leaving King Aegon without significant support in the Riverlands. This victory allowed Rhaenyra's allies, like the Blackwoods, to gather at Harrenhal and bolster Daemon's growing banners. Meanwhile, Sir Otto Hightower, the Hand of the King, was busy consolidating power. He worked tirelessly to win over lords, hired sellswords, and fortified King's Landing. He sent ravens to a multitude of regions: Winterfell, the Erie, Riverrun, White Harbor, Gulltown, Bitterbridge, Fair Isle, and many more. His efforts even reached out to Dorne, but Prince Corin Martell refused to get involved. The fall of Harrenhal and the defeats at Burning Mill and Stone Hedge struck fear into Aegon II. His anxieties grew when reports from the Reach revealed a fractured support base. While houses Hightower and Redwyne remained loyal, other influential houses like Costain, Mullendore, Tarly, Rowan, and Grimm had declared for Rhaenyra. This division led to the regents of House Tyrell refusing to declare for either side in the Civil War. Further compounding Aegon's troubles were rejections from the Vale and the North, coupled with constant merchant complaints about the Sea Snake's fleets blocking Blackwater Bay. In response, Sir Otto reached out to the Kingdom of the Three Daughters in Essos, offering exclusive trading rights and even ceding the Stepstones if they could clear the gullet of the Valyrian fleet. However, the Triarchy's slow-moving High Council delayed action. Frustrated with the lack of progress, Aegon dismissed Sir Otto and turned to Sir Criston Cole. Criston's first counsel was brutal: treat those who defy Aegon as traitors. Thus, the Blacks imprisoned in the dungeons were dragged before the King's Justice. Lords Butterwell, Stokeworth, and Rosby were the only ones to bend the knee, while others like Hayford, Merryweather, Hart, Buckler, Caswell, and Lady Fell were all executed. Their severed heads were displayed on spikes above the gates of King's Landing, a grim testament to Aegon's resolve. The Kingsguard itself was split in loyalty. Sir Laurent Marbrand and Sir Eric Cargyle had already sided with Rhaenyra, later joined by Sir Stephen Darklyn. Meanwhile, Sir Criston Cole, Sir Aric Cargyle, Sir Rickard Thorne, and Sir Willis Fell stood with Aegon II. In a particularly tragic twist, Sir Criston planned to use stealth to eliminate Rhaenyra or her sons. Sir Aric was tasked with infiltrating Dragonstone disguised as his twin, Sir Eric. Accounts differ on his exact mission, but a fateful encounter between the twins ended in a deadly duel. Songs and stories tell of their mutual respect and sorrow as they fought, dying in each other's arms. This concludes Part 5 in our series about the Dance of the Dragons. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next part.